Our visit to Sebana Cove Marina, October 2019. We rounded the southeastern peninsula of Malaysia, avoiding Singapore. There's the Navy shipyard and a little marina. We motor sailed up the river towards Sebana Cove, and you can see by the chart plotter that it was some negotiation and had to be careful of the low spots, the depth of the water. Keeping to the centre of the river was a must. Entering the Sebana Cove, I'd already contacted by email Norman, the marina manager. This is some stock photos of the marina. We got a berth on the far end of the pontoons, and that was a view from the restaurant, and there was some good entertainment during some evenings. Then we had some guests on the boat for a river cruise. They lent us their motor vehicle for the few days we were there. It was a family cousin of the Malaysian passenger that I had on board. They seemed to really enjoy the time on the boat. I hope they did anyway.
Hola! Sawadee Cup! Bonjour! G'day! G'day!
And this is what happens when you give the video GoPro to a 10-year-old. Fortunately it was waterproofed. I'm not much better at videoing. Younger children was really excited and actually climbed through the hatch in the lounge area onto the roof of the boat.
Hello guys.
I kept myself busy offering them drinks and snacks. We went into the local township for a haircut and a feed and the supermarket run. And without a motor car, travelling from Sebana Cove to anywhere is a pain in the neck. We had some lovely crayfish or lobster, depending on what you call it. I used the local Tanjung Balongkor ferry to cross over to Changi ferry terminal. This is the entrance to the ferry. Again, it's a pain in the neck to get there without a motor car. Cost me a fair amount to get the taxi there. The timetable changes in the off season, and this is a view of us leaving on the ferry from the terminal. I think it takes about an hour to get from one terminal to the other around some of the new makeshift islands. Off-season timetable, you should really ring the ferry company. This is the times for the actual Changi ferry terminal. I actually had to wait for it to to open in the evening so I could travel back, and there was only one ferry travelling back, so I was lucky to get there in time. You wouldn't want to miss it because then you've got a large travel back to some hotel or such. The Changi ferry terminal has some local buses, but they don't run on a Sunday, and the Grab taxis require cash, or you can use the Grab app, but if you don't have a Singapore SIM card, you've got problems, and if you don't have Singapore money, you've also got problems. The MRT train is about 15 minutes from the terminal in a car. You can either get a bus or a taxi to the Changi Airport terminal or the Pasir MRT station, and as I said, you need cash. There's no ATMs at the terminal. There are ATMs at the MRT stations, of course, and that's where I got my cash from. And you should always get a day pass and the tourist map of the trains. When I was at Pasir, or whatever it's called, there's a hawker centre there, and I really enjoyed having a few snacks in the hawker centre. That evening I returned to Sebana Cove. It was time to leave Sebana Cove Marina. After 3 or 4 days we sailed out of it under engine, and by that stage my Malaysian passengers were getting used to it, having what little time they had in front of the helm, under my supervision of course. At that stage my autopilot was still working, when it felt like it. We had some dinners back on the boat. The fish was caught and prepared by our Malacca. Of course, on the way out you have to negotiate the river traffic, keeping within the red and green buoys. On the left was the estuary into the Petronas oil refinery, I think, and in front of us was some very low-lying electrical cables. My mast is about 45 foot tall, so there's no problem there. This video was produced by myself, of course, and here's a beautiful sunset of Malaysia. This is the end of another exciting video. Sebana Cove, October 2019.